Last week in the JBL Cup Series, Miles the Monster was really hungry at Dover Motor Speedway. Saw 3 cautions, the Dover big one, and Stuart Gren in dominating fashion led over half the race and got his 3rd win on the season, and now he has put himself into title contention. 7 races to go in Season 6 of the JBL Cup Series, and we are at the last road course race on the season. It is the SiriusXM 355 at the Glen. What's up, everyone? It's your boy Space 97, aka Nathan Stapleton here, and welcome to Watkins Glen International, the 3rd and final road course race on the season, and quite possibly we saved the best one for last. 18 laps on this road course. And as always, we are back on the version where we take the boot as well. 18 laps on tap here today, 1 pit stop, and if it's anything like Road America, I think we could see a little bit of unpredictability. We saw some new drivers up front at Road America at the last road course that we haven't really seen all season. I think we might see some of that here today, but I also think we are later on in the season than where we were at Road America, so I think you'll still see some of the best start and race up front. And honestly, the front row is a prime example. Same deal, a chase driver for Spy Motorsports that's been really consistent, quite inconsistent all season, and exactly Fitzwater, lower in the points, but he's been solid. He's getting better throughout the second half of the season, and is a all-Spy front row. And speaking of Spy, we got the owner of Spire. Caleb's up here with you for this one. Welcome to Watkins Glen.
Thank you so much for having me up here for this one. I'm really looking forward to this race. It always usually seems, no matter what series, no matter what car you put on this racetrack, it usually always delivers some incredible results. This track is always usually a lot of fun, and especially with the factors that are going into this one. Of course, with us being right smack dab now in the middle of the chase and all the storylines going on with that, could definitely produce a very, very fun race here today. And especially with all of our chase drivers kind of scattered throughout the field, it's going to definitely be interesting to watch all of them and how much they can potentially make up here. But I am definitely looking forward to this one, no doubt about that. It's going to be a lot of fun here from Watkins Glen, and I have to agree with you. This is our last road course race of the season, and I think we saved the best for last.
Absolutely. There's a reason why I normally have Watkins Glen in the chase, and I think we are going to see a fantastic reason why, and we touched on a big nail on the coffin there. A lot of chase drivers are scattered throughout the entire field here today, so that's going to be very interesting. Chase race number 4 has been a chaotic start. Indy went caution-free, Chicago went caution-free until the final lap, and then Dover made up for it and had 3 cautions. So, chase race number 4, obviously no cautions, but we could still see some chaos, and we gotta wait and see if what ends up happening. In the middle, the dominant driver on the season is leading the championship standings, with Matthew Hubler now in second at 7 points behind. Stuart Gren went number 3 last week at Dover, and he is in championship contention now, minus 13. Logan Williams, a slow start to the chase, but he's still in contention in 4th, minus 15. Those 4 are really broken away in the first 3 races. And everyone else is kind of in hurry-up, catch-up mode. Duncan Wood, minus 31. John Jones doing it at Chicagoland 2 weeks ago, minus 43. Juan Garcia, minus 47. Local Dorn, minus 49. Nichols, same deal, minus 57. And then Jordan Edwards, really consistent in the regular season, not been a good start to the chase for him, minus 64. And Abel, minus 71. And Ron Connington, minus 72. Been a terrible start for those 2 as a whole, for those 2 drivers that Joe Gibbs Racing. And we're going to go ahead and get these drivers going off since this is a long pace lap, but it's going to be interesting of where, with all these chase drivers starting. Sam DL starts 2nd, Hubert starts 5th, Williams starts 6th, Miller starts 8th, and then you got a bunch of chase drivers in the middle of the field. Duncan Wood in 14th, April in 15th, but Wood in 13th, April in 14th, Kennington in 15th, Glenn in 16th, Garcia in 17th, and John Edwards in 18th. And then John Edwards in 21st, and unfortunately, Local Dawn, 32nd on the grid today. And he's gonna go from the back to the front. And it's gonna be interesting what ends up happening here. Another Aussie of Zachary Fitzwater is on pole here today in this one. And we are gonna have to wait and see if what ends up happening alongside him is his Spy Motorsports teammate of Nicholas Samdale, still looking for that first JBL Cup Series win, both of them on the front row. Row number 2 is the number 24 of Troy Barlow and the 54 of Nick Lopez, Matthew Hubert and Logan Williams in row number 3. And then you got Duncan Halverson and Andrew Miller in row number 4. And right at the top 10 is BB Ruiz and Eli Bright. And I just realized 3 out of the top 4 start inside the top 10 in the point standings. Well, Caleb, this is a wild workhorse, as we've been saying. 18 laps with the boot. Pit stops around lap 11 to 13. Here's the pit to win here at Watkins Glen.
Well, it's definitely a lot of strong drivers starting up here towards the front of the field. So, honestly, might watch out for the driver that's honestly been by far probably the most consistent so far this season and so far here during the chase. My pick is with the number 21 of Andrew Miller to potentially make some noise here and maybe even get it done there in that 21 there starting from the 4th row.
Let's see if Andrew Miller can get the number 6 on the season. He definitely has 6 with 5 plus the All-Star Race win. And he's been by far the best driver this season. But he's not had a perfect chase, so gotta wait and see what ends up happening. But it's a all-spire front row here at Watkins Glen International, the final workhorse race on the season, and it might be the best one to this point on the season. Zachary Fitzwater, Nicholas Sanodillo, and we are green flag racing for the SiriusXM 355 at the Glen. A perfect start from Sam Deal, and we see this time and time again here at Watkins Glen. The outside poster is a fantastic start, but Fitzwater is trying to make up some ground in the number 71. And we're going to see this all day long. There's so many different passing zones here on this racetrack, and we're going to see that all day long. But how about Nick Lopez? We mentioned last week at Dover, last week it was his birthday, and he had a very good showing at Dover, and he's trying to have another one here today. But how about Logan Williams all the way up to 3rd and maybe even 2nd on lap number 1.
We got some battles going on here from Watkins Glen as Logan Williams looking to make the pass here on the 54 of Nick Lopez. Zachary Fitzwater trying to fend off Andrew Miller there. We got a lot of big mess here going on towards the middle of the field. Got a lot of side-by-side as everyone jostles for position here early on. But yeah, Fitzwater kind of stuck in a bit of a tough situation there, starting on the pole position. Arguably, he's not really where you want to be at this track because, like you mentioned, we usually often see the guy on the outside get a lot better of a jump on the start, and it's kind of easy for the guy on the outside to squeeze the guy on the inside into turn number 1 and cause him to lose a bit of momentum. So Fitzwater in a bit of a tough spot there, but luckily he managed to kind of recover from it well. He's still sitting in the 4th position, so still has an opportunity to make some ground back up, but still a lot of action going on here as now we got Eli Bright looking to go after the 5 of Matthew Hubert here as they go up here into the S's side by side. See who comes out on top, and that it looks like Matthew Hubert's going to stay clear for the time being. Yeah, that's what you usually see here at this racetrack. A lot of passing zones and a lot of action here at the Glen. We're already only 2 laps in, but still, we have seen a lot go on here in these first couple laps.
Absolutely, and this is a very unique version of the Glen, but it always produces some fantastic racing, and we've seen it early on. And another thing is that we see a lot of Tyler here at Watkins Glen. At the end of the 1, it's going to be maybe 3 or 4 seconds of fall off, so you really have to have a long run car till lap 11, lap 12 for that round of pit stops. Fitzwater to the inside of Nick Lopez, and Hubert to the inside of Trey Barlow for the 6th position. Maybe Eli Bright as well. Fitzwater still on the inside on Nick Lopez, and this could be one of the best chances for Zachary Fitzwater to get that first Cup Series win here today. And he might be in good position here in the final 2 turns to get 3rd place. And now that I remember, he probably should have won World America, but it was Justin Zeidel that was able to one-stop it in that one. But that won't be a problem here today in the Miller. And Barlow into the outside wall, off the final corner, typical Watkins Glen things. Kennington Garcia as well. And that's going to be a problem all day long as someone's on pit road. That's 17 of Kyle Sustry with a coolant leak issue on lap number 2.
Already an issue there for the 17. Tough break there for him, but you saw a lot of guys slap that outside wall off of turn 11. That's going to be a big point of interest here today, as we usually often see cars go wide there and potentially slap the outside wall. And you need to be careful, because the more you slap that outside wall, or the harder you slap it, the more damage you will get. And of course, once we do inevitably have that pit stop later on, that will be damage that you have to fix. So these guys need to try their best to try and keep it out of that wall. Of course, a little tap is no harm, no foul, but you still need to try and do your best to keep that car off of the wall as much as you can. Seeing a couple guys there slap it there coming off of turn 11, but still pretty clean here for the most part. Andrew Miller was one of those guys that kind of catches the outside wall there, lost a spot because of it, looking to get back around the 5 of Matthew Hubert as the battle still continues to rage on in front of them here for 3rd, as Fitzwater once again tries to go after the 54 of Nick Lopez here for the 3rd position. But out front, Sam Adio has ran a really clean race here so far. He's trying to pull away with that race lead, almost 2 seconds right now to the 38 of Logan Williams. Right now he's running 2nd.
The last lap was round 1 between these two, and this is round 2 between these two for the 3rd place spot. Got a boxing fight here between these two, essentially. And Nick Lopez won round 1. Fitzwater trying to win round number 2. Logan Williams, as they are actually going to be in pain a little bit off turn 11. And Sam Dio maintained the gap. It stay at 1.8. And Fitzwater's really going to chop off Nick Lopez. And he's going to win the fight for now. And he's going to be up to the 3rd place spot. Hubert right behind him. And then Miller and Bright, and how about Duncan Alveston inside the top 10 for Rick Ware Racing. We've seen flashes from Rick Ware this season, and this is another one from that 15 team. And Abel inside the top 10 now, I believe, and that's the one that he needs. It's not really great that guys like Hubert, Miller, and Williams are all ahead of him in points, but a top 10's a top 10, and he's doing a good job at it. These guys are really aggressive here today. Blight almost got into Duncan Alveston going into the boot. And fantastic stuff here early on. And we're going to quickly see, has anyone had any issues? No. And no one has any problems in the back part of the field. A tough day for Stuart Haas, as they all basically in the back part of the field. And we'll see what ends up happening. Stuart Ground trying to make some ground in the number 47. Not a great start for last week's winner so far.
I mean, this is a racetrack where points are few and far between. You can just take what you can get. Aaron Abel there in the 11, continuing to try and move up, trying to get by the 24 there, trying to go around the outside. See if that can stick. In front of them, got Eli Bright, Duncan Havelston going at it. Nice to see Havelston having a good run there for Rick Ware Racing. Aaron Abel going to try and sweep it wide. He looks like he's going to clear. Ooh, the 24 almost slipped wide there. Here's Trey Bartow, but still kept it off of the wall. And a lot of great battles here so far from Watkins Glen. We're only still 5 laps in. Still a lot of this race left to go, and still a lot can happen.
Absolutely, and we've seen it time and time again at Watkins Glen. In any series, in any color, this racetrack is wild, and it is not over until the final lap, and sometimes it's not over then. But how about Sam Dio looking for that first career JBL Cup Series win here today? He's been quiet, he's been consistent, and they might get it here, but Williams still maintain a 2-second buffer on the race leader. Fitzwater in third, trying to pull away for Nick Lopez to maybe catch up to Logan Williams in number 38. Hubert in fifth. Williams, Halverson up to 7th now. And now Abel might be having a long one car. He got past Barlow. Now he might have one to the inside on the 42 of Eli Blight.
Oh, I thought I heard some skid marks.
Oh, and we do! We got
into the barrier.
And it's going to be Owen Miles and Matthew Burnett. That's an odd place.
What happened there? Yeah, that's a place we don't usually see, Rex.
Oh, and we might have something else happen. The 23 is off from the field, and the 51.
Wyatt Wilkinson.
Oh, and yeah, the
I think
that's
goodness. What went down.
Turn 10 and turn 11. Williams into the outside wall now. Everything would be in the corner of the screen. It's starting to get wild now on these older tires. And now, battle for the 5th position, as I think a 4th position. Nick Lopez has fallen off a little bit on these older tires. What a crazy lap number 5, apparently.
That just shows you what this track can do, all in just the span of one lap. You've seen a lot of shuffling. We saw a couple accidents there. Tough break to all those guys that were involved in those 2 accidents. Looks like we had one going through turn 10 and again going into the boot. I guess the toe there.
That's wild to see. We do see what's here.
Crazy.
But not normally that much in one lap. But Hubert doing a good job trying to get past Nick Lopez. Nick Lopez is having a late season surge from that 54. So good to see. And you know what? Logan Williams is not quite what he sees in his mirror, because Fitzwater is catching. And meanwhile, Sam Dio is pulling away, but he goes wide right there. So it's going to be interesting. Fitzwater might be able to catch up to Logan Williams here. And Duncan Allison might have a shot here about halfway through this fuel and tire cycle. So I'll see of how these guys perform in the second half of this one.
So you can definitely tell these tires starting to wear out quite a little bit. These guys are absolutely sliding around here using every bit of the racetrack they possibly can. Side by side here between the 24 Trey Bartow and the 42 of Eli Bright. Bartow's going to swing it wide there in the 24. Aaron Abel there in the 11 waiting in the wings. Oh, and in the wall goes the 15 of Havelston. See, Aaron Abel's got a bit of a run here. We'll see where he goes. Havelston trying to block here down the straightaway with that loss of momentum. On the outside, though, here heading into one, he'll have the preferred lane, and he will stay clear, and Eli Bright will get by. Trey Bartow there with that move. Stuart Gratton also trying to slip by on the outside, but Abel blocks him here, going up here into the S's.
Fantastic stuff from 7th through 11th, and actually 7th to 12th for these positions. Abel trying to get back to the inside of Barlow, and you see up ahead, we have company for second place. Fitzwater is definitely closing in on Logan Williams for the second place spot. But for Logan, he doesn't really need to win as he goes wide entering that corner. He just needs to be ahead of Hubert, of Grant, of Miller. And he's doing all 3 of those right now. So still going to be a good points day for that 38 team. And we'll see what ends up happening. As it's going to quickly go through the field, and it looks like nothing else has happened. Everyone is still going. Maybe we still got battles all over the place, and this is quite possibly one of the battles on the racetrack. Is 7th through 12th.
And there goes Stuart Gratton by the 24 of Trey Bartow. Pretty much about all these 5 guys in a line have absolutely been going at it with each other here. Is now Abel is all over the back bumper of Eli Bright. Stuart Gratton goes a little bit wide there as they head back onto the main circuit, potentially opening the door for Trey Bartow. Going to try and arc it here into turn 10. Maybe looking to try and get to Aaron Abel here in turn 11. Havelston a little bit wide, nothing too bad there. Abel also slips a little bit wide there. Ooh, I got close there for the one of BB Ruiz, but don't really see anybody hitting the wall this time around. I take that back, 45. Travis Crampton might have barely caught the wall there, but boy, these guys are absolutely going crazy here throughout this field. It has been a very entertaining race here from Watkins Glen so far, and closing in here on halfway home and just potentially a couple laps away here from our potential pit cycle.
Absolutely, it should be, in theory, anywhere after lap 10 is when we might see pit stops. Some people might pit on lap 10, maybe lap 11, lap 12, lap 13. 13 is kind of the limit when I saw in testing, so we gotta wait and see if who can do the overcut and who can do the undercut and who can do the right strategy here, because everyone's still fairly close. I want to say that a lot of these drivers, like Sam Dio, Logan Williams, Zachary Fitzgerald, definitely has another shot at a win on the road course, just like Road America. Nick Lopez might have a shot, Hubert, Miller, and maybe, I don't know about Harrison, but maybe some of these guys like Bright, April, maybe, he's had a good long run car here today. Stuart Grand as well, and how about Dylan Matthews? The third spot car is one of the inside the top 12 as well, so fantastic day from Spot as a whole. Duncan Wood has been quietly moving his way up, and a lot of chases all in the middle of the field. That's going to be very interesting of how that all shakes out. Unfortunately, the local Doran started 32nd up to 26th last time by, but not ideal whatsoever here in this chase. And we'll see what ends up happening. Lap 9 of 18 now. And Fitzwater still closing in on Logan Williams.
Water trying to make it a 1-2 here for Spire Motorsports, continuing to try and reel in that 38 of Logan Williams, but he's doing a pretty solid job here at trying to maintain the gap back to that 71 machine. Looking to still try and keep himself in a position here for a good finish. He's doing a really good job of that right now, running in the second position like you mentioned. Doesn't have to win, but still looking for a very good point stay here is that 38 as he continues to run in the second position, about 2 seconds back to Nicholas Samadio, who still has ran a very clean race here so far up to this point, looking for his first win here in the JBL Cup Series. Could that come today? We'll just have to wait and see how the rest of the race plays out, but Fitzy currently rounding out your podium. Nick Lopez, Matthew Hubert, and Andrew Miller, a couple chasers there all in a line as Hubert is all over the back bumper of the 54 with Miller there kind of waiting in the wings, and then of course we got that group back there all fighting for the 7th position on back. Havelston has done a fantastic job so far up to this point at defending against all those guys. He's still here in the 7th position, so definitely got to give a call to Havelston there in Rick Ware Racing. He has done a very, very good job here at maintaining that position.
Absolutely. He might be holding up those guys a little bit, but still not too bad from him. And you know what? I know you don't like this, but I think Sam Leo might be dropping back a little bit. And yeah, he lost half a tenth last time by, so I think Logan Williams might have a little bit of a better long run car, or Sam Leo pushed it a little bit, and that's going to make this pit stop cycle very interesting here in a couple of laps. Able to the inside of Eli Brighton to turn number 1. And we're going to see, did anyone pit this time by? Lap 10 was a little bit iffy in testing. Looks like no one is going to pit, so I think it's really going to be lap 11, lap 12 for this pit stop cycle to begin. And with the top 3 all getting closer and closer, that's going to make it very, very interesting.
Definitely, yeah. Logan Williams took a pretty decent-sized chunk there out of Samadio's lead, but we are approaching that pit cycle, so maybe Samadio is probably just trying to ride it out here for the time being. Logan Williams trying to do everything he can to maybe close in. Fitzwater there in third, also trying to do the same. Fitzwater honestly kind of about in a world of his own right now. He's got a pretty solid gap up to the 38 of Logan Williams, but also has a pretty good gap behind him built up to the 54 of Nick Lopez. They're still battling back here. Aaron Abel trying to still go after the 42 of Eli Bright here. Went for it in turn 1, couldn't quite get the move done, but still here side by side going down the back straightaway. It looks like Abel has the advantage. He's going to clear him here as they go into the heel. Trey Bartow also looking to try and follow suit there in the 24. They're going to go side by side here as we head back onto the main section, but coming to the end of lap number 10 here, we'll have to see if anybody does elect to try and come down pit lane this time by. Looks like Samadio at least is going to stay out. Logan Williams with a bit of a tap to the wall. No harm, no foul really there. But it looks like at
Oh.
least our top 6 for the time being is going to stay out. Duncan
I like
Havelston,
that.
though, going to be the first to come in and undercut all the guys behind him. I like that.
I really like that. We could tell that he kind of was falling off there on the long one, and he's like, you know what, hey, I got this good one going, top 10 one. Oh,
Oh no, the Haas cars! Oh, boy.
My goodness, that was a little bit close, and Giacomo also going down, so, but yeah, I like that call from Halverson. Definitely looked like he had a short one car. Might as well pit now and do the undercut and see what he can do. And meanwhile, in all that, Miller is up to the 5th position now. So, we'll see what ends up happening. I think that's really going to open everything here, and I think it's really going to be lap 12, lap 13. Sam Neal did gain a little bit last time by, back up to 1.8. But these top 3 really have a really good chance at this race win after pit stops, probably. And we gotta wait and see what ends up happening. But, I bet they're feeling pretty good. 2 cars in the top 3, both with a chance for the race win.
If I've learned anything from watching and doing these races now for almost 2 years now, it's not to count your chickens before they hatch quite yet. Like you mentioned pre-race, it's not over until we see the checkered flag fly. So San Mateo still with a lot ahead of him, but we'll have to see. He's still in a really good position right now with that race lead, and Fitzwater also doing a really good job in 3rd. Let's see here. Looks like San Mateo is going to come down the pit lane here at the conclusion of lap 11. Williams is going to follow him in, and so is Fitzwater. So our top 3 all coming down here on lap number 11. Here comes Lopez, Miller, and Hubert. And here we go. The floodgates have opened.
Busy pit road.
We're busy.
Oh no!
Kennington
Andrews. And that's going to be
that's gonna cause a big jam up.
We've seen that a few times at the Glen, but not quite like that. And another week in a row where some chase drivers specifically have big time problems.
Ronald Kennington took a pretty wide pin entry there and unfortunately kind of paid the price for it. Got into the barrels. The 34 ended up going upside down. A very wild ride there for John Andrews, but a really tough break, especially for Ronald Kennington. Hate to see that to one of our chase drivers, but pit stops looking like they're concluding here. There's the 15 of Duncan Havelston, who came in a lap before, and then Travis Crampton, the 45, wanted to come in, probably saw that commotion and decided to stay out an extra lap. Andrew Miller in the 21 there. Not in the best position after pit stops. I don't know if he had a bit of an extended stop for damage repair or what, but
maybe
not looking like the best pit stop for the 21 of Andrew Miller. Looks like he lost quite a bit of ground because of that.
Absolutely, and did get into the wall a couple of times, so might be onto something, might be having to fix the damage on that car. And now, after that chaos, the gap is pretty similar between the top 3, but I can tell that Logan Williams is closing back in. He's reeling him in, and this is going to be very exciting for this final 6 laps to go. And just going to briefly touch on Kennington. It's unfortunate. It's kind of like the same with Jordan Edwards. Both Edwards and Kennington were top 5, top 7 all season long in the regular season standings. But once this chase hit, they are having terrible luck. And Logan Williams with a really low entry. Same with the other with a high entry. And we got a battle on our hands now. 6 laps to go. Logan Williams trying to get win number 18, 17 on the channel, I believe, 17. And he's trying to get his 3rd win on the season. And ever since the regular season finale, this 38 team might be the best car on track.
Williams looking to close in here. He's looked really strong as we went into the second half of this race. I think that 38 might have a really solid long-run car here, but he's got to get around that 77 of San Mateo. Of course, it's one thing to catch a car, another thing to pass him. And San Mateo has ran a really clean race so far up to this point, so we'll have to see if he can potentially defend against this 38 of Logan Williams. But whatever ends up happening, this is shaping up to be an exciting finish here from the Watkins Glen International.
Absolutely, and I will say the first 3 races we've had a chase driver win, and even though Fitzwater is in third and he is in position to maybe capitalize if these two take each other out, odds are we will start the chase with 4 chase drivers winning 4 races in a row. Logan Williams at Indy, John Andrews at Chicagoland, Stuart Glenn at Dover, and as of now it looks like it will be most likely either Sam Dio or Logan Williams. And watch out for 2011, that's been the excitement tone here today. And it looks like Sam Dio is taking a defensive line again. Logan Williams running a higher arc. And he might be able to send it. This is kind of like what they did last time by. Logan Williams side by side exiting the final corner for the race lead with 5 laps to go.
Side-by-sider down the front straightaway, but Sam Dio, if he can stay there, will have the advantage here going into turn number 1. But Logan sends it in. He runs Sam Dio wide. Sam Dio trying to stay side-by-sider going into the S's, but Logan clears going up the hill.
This ain't over.
Crazy move there out of the 38 of Logan Williams, but we'll see if Sam Dio's done. I don't think he is.
We might have a generational 1v1 battle here, Caleb, for this race win. I don't think Sam is going to be too happy with that move. There wasn't really any contact, but one of them ran him off wide and kind of chopped him off entering the S's. If these two get racy, I don't know, maybe you can't count Fitzwater in that 3rd place spot. This is just such good stuff here for the race lead. Sam Dio in position. Gonna quickly touch on Nick Lopez, another top 5 one in the making for this 54 team. April, how about April? I know we're inside the top 5. We talked about him having a all-in car earlier, and he's inside the top 5. You put Glenn, Barlow, and then is the number 42 of Eli Blight, and the number 9 of Jordan, the top 10. But going through these final couple of corners, Fitzwater is definitely catching, I think, a little bit. So the more these guys race, the more it will affect them. But you know what? I think what's costing Sam Dio is his exit off of the boot. He's kind of messed up 3 times in a row. And we gotta see what ends up happening. 4 laps to go. And Logan Williams goes wide a little bit off turn 11.
Sam Dio maybe trying to take it a little bit carefully through the exit of the boot through turn 11, which can be costing him a little bit of time. We definitely saw him visually lose that a little bit there to the 38 of Logan Williams trying to pull away. Zachary Fitzwater was able to close in quite a bit that last time by, now down to under 3 seconds. He's going to have to lay down some good laps here if he wants to close in, but we'll see if Fitzwater can do it. I think if anybody can do it, it probably would be Zachary Fitzwater there in that 71, but we'll have to see. We'll see if Sam Dio can maybe get back up to the 38 of Logan Williams. Yeah, back here, a lot of shuffling has gone on since that cycle of pit stops. You got Aaron Abel now here inside of the top 5. You got Jordan Edwards in the 9 up there inside the top 10. A good recovery there for the number 9. Looking to try and get by Eli Bright there as well for the 9th position, but up front still, this is shaping up to be a fantastic run to the finish if Sam Dio can close back into Logan Williams, but Williams trying to do everything he can to pull away, and Fitzwater trying everything he can to close into our top 2.
And this is kind of like the reverse way of what happened at Road America. Fitzwater dominated Road America, but because of Justin Liddell switching on one stop somehow, Fitzwater got 2nd, I believe, and did not win. Fitzwater's been the top 3 caller, but he's pushing it late, and I can just tell he is gaining. Does he have enough time? I don't know. But he's going to have a shot at something in the final 3 laps. But Logan Williams trying to get a 2nd win in 4 races to kick off the chase. And he might be able to, but goes a little bit wide off that corner. Sam Dio gained in a little bit. 3 laps to go. And for Logan Williams, he might be thinking, what am I going to do here? Because he might not have to deal with 1 spotter car. He might have to deal with a 2nd one. Fitzwater gained a little bit again. But I think for Fitzwater, he really wants these 2 to get racing. And Sam Dio with a good line through the S's. And with these 2 might be able to have round 2 here with 3 laps to go.
3 coming to 2 laps to go. Sammy Dio had a decent lap that last time by, closed in a couple tenths. He's going to have a good draft here down the back straightaway here, as well as we head into the carousel. Looking to maybe try and make one last charge here on the 38 of Logan Williams. Finally had himself a good turns 9, 10, 11 that last time around, so that's probably where he got that time gain from. But we will see. Sam Adio still, like I said, looking for his first career win here in the JBL Cup Series, and that is right in front of him. We'll have to see what he can do here in this final almost 2 to go.
Absolutely, only 2 rookies have won this season in the JBL Cup Series. One of them is Stuart Graham with 3, and then the other is Wilco Dorn all the way back at Auto Club. So he's trying to be the 3rd rookie in a stats rookie class to get the first win. It's been a very consistent season for Sam Dio, but he's trying to catch up Logan Williams, possibly one of the best cars late in the season to get this race win. Fitzwater is continuing to close on in. Williams goes wide. Sam Dio goes wider. Almost into the outside wall. 2 laps to go, and you know what? Fitzwater got a great final turn. And with 2 laps to go, Fitzwater is only 2 seconds behind.
Fitzwater closed in quite a bit that last time by. Looking back here, Aaron Abel in the 11 trying to hang on to that 5th position. Matthew Hubert all over the back bumper of that 11, as meanwhile the 11 trying to go after the 54 of Nick Lopez there for 4th. Stuart Gratton there in 7th, having a decent run. Trey Bartow, Jordan Edwards, couple Hendrick cars still here inside the top 10. Edwards actually got around 4-2 of Eli Bright, and then right outside here, you got Baby Ruiz, Dylan Matthews fighting, and you got the 21 of Andrew Miller right behind him there in 13th. So while he definitely lost a little bit of ground there under that pit cycle, it definitely could be worse, as he's still here right outside of the top 10. But up front, here we go. Fitzwater continuing to close on that 77 of Sam Adio, looking to potentially have a shot at this. This is going to be a fantastic finish here from Watkins Glen. Logan trying to pull away, but we'll have to see what happens here. Still got over a lap to go, and anything can happen here from Watkins Glen.
Absolutely. We are 6 laps on these tires, halfway through the 1. These tires are starting to get older and older. They are starting to slip and slide even more. I know Fitzwater's going to be able to pass 2 cars in 1 lap, but we've seen crazy things at Watkins Glen before. We've seen crazy things happen today already at Watkins Glen. But at the line this time by, it's going to be the Power 1 to go here at Watkins Glen. And Williams into the outside wall. Sam Dio into the outside wall. Fitzwater up to 2nd. He might have a shot.
They're both into the wall, and Fitzy's up into 2nd. Not only that, he's within striking distance of the 38 of Williams. This is not over one bit here from Watkins Glen. Logan goes a bit wider into the entrance to the S's. Fitzwater might have a run here down the back straightaway.
What do I say? At the start, it's not over until the checker flag. And this is proof. 3 cars under the blanket, and Sam Dio lost a spot. Fitzwater trying to make it 3rd to 1st. He's going to go side by side. Side by side in the carousel. He is there. I don't know what's happening as of late in the JBL Cup Series. The last 5-6 races have absolutely cooked. Side by side, entering the boot. Fitzwater's not going to have the advantage there, but he's going to have the advantage all throughout. And if Logan makes another mistake, Fitzwater's there. Oh boy.
Logan with a little bit of a wider line here through the toe, down the back straightaway. For the final time, Fitzwater might have one more shot here into turns 9, 10, and 11. We'll have to see if he can get by. He's all over the back bumper. He's going to have one attack, one chance here as we get into the final 3 corners here of the racetrack.
Fitzwater dominated at World America, got 2nd. Can he steal this one at Watkins Glen to get his first career JBL Cup Series win? He's going to have Logan Williams make another mistake in turn number 11. Logan Williams does not. It's going to be 2nd again for Fitzwater.
That's going to do it.
And Logan Williams, win number 3 on the season, 2 out of the last 4. And he hangs on barely to not 1, but 2 Spire cars. Oh, Fitzwater almost had it. Part of me really wanted to see Fitzwater get that. No disrespect to Logan Williams, but what a finish once again at World America. What a finish once again in the JBL Cup Series. Whew.
What a finish indeed. Wow.
Did Watkins Glen cook or what?
Did it cook? Did it cook?
This is
We just had a
why.
5-star meal.
Absolutely. This is why I picked some of the best racetracks on the schedule in the chase. Sure, I don't follow the real life schedule, but this is why. Banger after banger after banger, and by the hair of his, by the skin of his teeth, I should say, Logan Williams, hands on, and barely hands on to get rid number 3 on the season. Might be able to take the point lead away. I don't think so. Huber got 5th, Glenn got 7th, and then Miller got 12th. So he's gonna close in, and those 4 are really gonna be duking it out for this championship. Now, Duncan Wood with a decent result in the number 8 machine. At least I thought he had a decent result going. He did, and he fell back to 32nd lead. I don't know what happened to Duncan Wood. He was inside the top 12, top 15. Oh my goodness. What a SiriusXM 355 at the Glen. And Logan Williams gets the win in a barn burner of a finish. Whew. One of the best cars of the day won. And once again, Fitzwater gets 2nd on a road course. What a finish. Sam Dio in 3rd. Those 3 were definitely the class of the field here today. They had a 12-second lead over 4th place of Nick Lopez. So, absolutely amazing. Hubert in 5th. April in 6th. Grant in 7th. Barlow in 8th. Edwards in 9th. And Eli Bright rounds out the top 10. BP Ruiz in 11th. Andrew Miller in 12th. Jim Matthews in 13th. Duncan Alverson, shout out to him. Ran top 15 all day and gets a 14th place finish. Juan Garcia in 15th. Alexander Vitale in 16th. William Crampton, Zidell, Wachowski. Miles got into a wreck early on. He still got 21st. Same with Burnett. Folliger in 23rd. Kenneth Miller 24th. Local Dorn started 32nd, finished 25th. Not that good of a day. I mean, that's impressive, but still not that great. And then Clifton, Wall, Hernandez, Stout had something going on. Wilkinson, and I don't know what happened to Duncan Wood late. Did he have a mechanical issue? He had an oil leak on.
Oh no.
Oh no. He had an oil leak very, very late in the race when he was running inside the top 12, top 15. And then Sussai was off strategy, and then Marco, Andrews, and Kennington all in the garage. What a chaotic race, and there is a reason why I have Watkins Glen in the chase. What a fun road course race, and what a race here. 4 chase wins in a row for the chase brothers, and gonna wait and see what happens at Richmond at one of the most chaotic short tracks on the season next week. But what's the final thoughts, Caleb, of a classic at Watkins Glen?
That was an absolutely fantastic race from start to finish. Gave us a lot of great on-track action, gave us a lot of passing, a lot of shuffling throughout the field, especially with our chase drivers, which was definitely very interesting to see. And very interested to see how the points will shuffle out after all this. And on top of that, a fantastic finish between Logan, Zachary, and Nicholas. Those 3 gave us an absolute barn burner for the ages there. That was a lot of fun. And yeah, like I said, definitely excited to see how everything will shake up after all is said and done. Gotta give a huge amount of credit there to Logan Williams. Done a great job here during this race. Got Sam Adio there towards the end of that run there, fair and square, and managed to hang on. Fitzwater, man, gave it his all there. Just barely came up short, but he has had a very phenomenal run here in the second half of the season, especially here in these road course races. And Sam Adio, a great run still, all things considered, going to be a lot of much-needed points there for that 77 team. Wish we could have maybe done one spot better, but regardless, still a fantastic race here from Watkins Glen. Like you said, an absolute classic.
Absolutely, and Watkins Glen is my favorite little course for a reason. Thank you guys so much for watching here for the SiriusXM 355 at the Glen. And next week will be some short track racing for both National and Cup at Lionel, Richmond. And we've seen some chaotic races there in the past, and we'll see what will happen in the chase for that one. Thanks for Cables for joining me up here in the booth for this one for a wild race at Watkins Glen. And the points will be at the end of the video. Congratulations to Logan Williams, second win in the last 4 races, and congratulations to Benny Watson and Front Row Motorsports. 3 wins out of 4 races to kick off the chase. Until next week at Richmond International Raceway, or Richmond Raceway I should say, we will see you guys for race number 23 on the season.